Orleans Saints podcast, presented by Rouse's Markets. You'll hear from players, coaches, broadcasters, and writers that cover the NFL daily. The New Orleans Saints podcast starts right now. Here are your hosts, Erin Summers and Todd Graffagnini.
Welcome into the New Orleans Saints podcast presented by Rouse's Markets. Erin Summers here alongside Todd Graffagnini. We thought we were going to have nothing to talk about today because practice was supposed to be closed practice where they were just doing a light walkthrough and special teams work, which was the case, but we were allowed to go watch. And it was pretty interesting, despite the fact that we saw pads yesterday, which is a lot more action. There were some things that you could glean from today's practice.
Yeah, no, it was, they called an audible, and we didn't think we were going to be able to watch anything, which we were able to. So did some situational work, did some 2-minute work, and did a little install. So we saw both sides of the ball. The special teams really was kickoff coverage. So, and then, of course, they ran 2-minute situational drills at the end with Group E, hopefully kicking a game-winning field goal at the end. But yeah, we you know, and listening to Kellen Moore again post-practice, it's the buzzword really has been recovery. I think that is the one word that has come up time and time and time again during this first week of training camp, and we heard it again today. Erin.
Yeah, Godchaux talked about it, said it's the best he's ever felt, best training camp he's ever been a part of.
So that's 6 different players going back the last couple days that have said this is the best that they have felt through how many practices of training camp, when you're talking about just the wear and tear that these guys have to go through each and every day during camp, which is a grind. It's not a coincidence, and we have just noticed how efficient everything has been. We've noticed the recovery, how much time that the coaching staff gives these guys during the day before they start their afternoon film sessions and walkthroughs again. So it's been really refreshing to listen to these guys talk about it.
Yeah, and everyone's been healthy for the most part. We did have one minor injury yesterday. JT Gray slipped on the field, so it was kind of a fluke thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything that had to do with rest, recovery, whatever. You know, he slipped, and in the fall, he stretched his hamstring, right side. And Coach Moore said today after practice that he's week to week. He was out there, though. He was a part of the walkthrough and just being able to kind of see what everybody was doing, the install that was happening on the defensive side, because the offense and defense took the first half of practice separately, reviewing old plays, installing new things, and then the teams came together, did some special teams work, and then went through the situational work at the end of practice. And it was Spencer Rattler who took all of the snaps.
Pretty much. We saw Hainer take some reps at the very, very end, but when you're talking about what we saw during walkthrough and during install, it was all Spencer Rattler. So the thing that we kind of talked about while the practice was going on was that Rattler was the consistent player at quarterback. The starting offensive line, which we have seen them take every first-team rep other than the McCoy vet day, they have been intact from day one, and then the mixing and matching of the skill players. But it was Rattler and the first-team offensive line, and then everybody else. So that was really a consistent theme today, at least on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
and the defense really has been a lot of mixing and matching on the line. Werner and Davis have been the consistent linebackers. Ike Yadam and
Kool-Aid
McKinstry have been the starting cornerbacks. And then you've got Reed and Blackman and
Alontae Taylor has been the one that's
he's really been in the
slot.
Yes.
Yeah. So Reed, Blackman, and then even Jordan Howden has been getting a mix in there at safety.
That's really been the consistent first team off, but they really have stressed shuttling in and out defensive linemen to keep everybody fresh.
I mean, you watch and you can definitely tell that Godchaux is made for this system.
Perfect.
He is a massive individual, and they've harped a lot, other players on the team, about how strong he is and how he makes it so much easier for them. Pete Werner talked about that he really fills up 2 lanes. So Werner just has to play the ball. He doesn't even have to really think too much about where to go. So he's liked having Godchaux in front of him. They did run some 4-3-2, and then they're pulling up, whether it was Cam Jordan as an additional lineman up there as well. It's been interesting. I think they are going to mix it up a little bit, and versatility is a word that we keep hearing over and over and over again when it comes to Brandon Staley's defensive scheme.
You know, Erin, we heard Pete Werner talking about, just a couple minutes ago about how it still kind of sticks in their craw that they were so poor defending the run last year. And it's something that they talked about and it's been going along in the locker room. And you can't win football games. Now, look, they had a lot of injuries last year. We know that. But you cannot win football games if you're last in stopping the run. It's impossible. So that has got to be any defense. You've got to stop the run. That is number one priority every single Sunday is to stop. It's just so hard for offenses to get going if you can't run the football. And defensively, that is your main focus, is to make offenses have to win games by other ways, not just running it down your throat all day, because that's demoralizing as a defense. It wears you down physically, and it keeps the clock running, and that gives you less time offensively to do anything. So it is really paramount to do that. And look, you got a guy like Godchaux in the middle like that as a nose tackle. That is giving you a head start, because in a 3-4 defense, he is the ideal nose tackle. You get a nose tackle in there that just clogs the middle up, that frees up your linebackers to go and make plays, and that's what Davis and Werner can do. They're really, really good moving side to side. So, but it all starts up front in that 3-4 defense, and Godchaux is huge for him to be there.
Absolutely.
No pun intended.
No, I mean, definitely built for this type of system. And he said, though, that stopping the run starts with having pride. So this is what he had to say after practice today.
It's really just about the pride. I mean, Coach Kellen has been doing a great job mixing a lot of, he's a very creative offensive mind, been mixing a lot of things in. But it's just really just about having pride about stopping the run, going out there for the, get guys on third down and come home. But a lot of sacks come off first and second downs too. So I know everybody want to rush on third down, but I mean, that's only one down. So I mean, everybody wants to get the sack on third down, but a lot of sacks come off first and second down, play action pass and boot and all that. So just kind of just taking pride in stopping the run. It just got to be something that you got to I really just do. I mean, it's a technique to it too, but it's really more about just having the pride to just stop the run, because you don't want a team just gassing you down the field each and every play.
As a fresh face to this team, your perspective, what is really the potential for this D-line?
To be dominant, to win, expected to win, expected to get back to old Saints football when they was winning. Really just set the tone, to be the leaders for the team. As a D-line, everybody's going to watch the D-line and the O-line. And I'm excited that, we got 5 first-rounders on O-line, so I'm excited to see them match up week 1. I'm excited about that group. But just set the tone, really tone setters. When you say D-line, you think of tone setters. You think of guys coming to wreck some shop. You think of guys coming to make your life a living H. So just really setting the tone. And I'm excited to set the tone. The first game, I mean, I know we got more steps to take in training camp to get through it against Arizona. I'm excited to set the tone and just to let them know that New Orleans Saints football is back. And we're going to get back by being a team on offense, defense, and special teams. And, of course, my bread and butter is, stopping the run. So before anybody gets sacks, we have to make sure we have a solid foundation of stopping the run on this defense. And I think we got the right guys to do it, and I'm excited.
Going on the other side of the line, the offensive line, you mentioned how consistent they have been. And we talked to Cesar Ruiz yesterday, and he talked about the chemistry that's building there. Taliesin Fuaga talked today, and he said him and Cesar Ruiz, they're like 2 peas in a pod.
Right.
It was really funny. He said that they don't even have to talk to each other about what's going on the field. What they do is laugh when they beat the defensive line.
I just thought it was interesting when I got a chance to talk to Cesar yesterday for the pod, and I hope everybody had a chance to listen to it. And I asked him about, his new running mate to his right now, which is Taliesin Fuaga. And he actually, compared being alongside Ryan Ramczyk all, for those years before, again, unfortunately, Ryan had to retire. But, that's pretty heady company to have a second-year guy being compared to Ryan Ramczyk. But, look, Fuaga has come in literally from day one of his rookie year and said, you're starting. And he did a really fine job on the left side. Now he's playing his natural position this year on the right side. And just to hear Caesar talk about Fuaga that way and vice versa, hear Tally talk about Caesar today, it's all about chemistry. It's all about continuity on the offensive line. And it's just, again, I don't want to use the word refreshing again, but it is just to see these starting 5 guys take every rep together in the first week of training camp. That's only going to help.
Yeah, and I know a lot has been made about having 4 players on the offensive line that were first-round draft picks, but you still have to do it day in and day out. So you come in highly touted. Trevor Penny's taken some time to find his position here, and it seems like he's going to be solidified there, left guard. And then Tolley, as you mentioned, having to switch sides back to the right tackle, which I think he seems really comfortable, excited about as well. Kelvin Banks holding down the left side.
And look,
nice.
We saw Banks. We heard Banks talk today, and I know you had a chance to talk to him during rookie minicamp and everything like that. But this is he's a rookie in the NFL, but this is a large individual. So, you've got your bookends now for the foreseeable future, but I go back to the captain, Eric McCoy. It is all about him. And Tallahassee Fuaga talked about it, said he tried to get cute and make some offensive calls, and McCoy kind of said, no, let me do that. Eric McCoy is vital. Try not to put too much pressure on him, but I think he can handle the pressure.
Absolutely.
It is vital for him to be in this lineup every single Sunday. He talked about it when he spoke to the media a few days ago. Said, look, he missed all those games. He goes, that cannot happen this year.
Yeah.
Just can't.
You saw things deteriorate from the moment that Eric McCoy got hurt in that game.
We talked about it a few days ago. The season literally was never the same when Eric McCoy got hurt against the Eagles last year.
Yeah. In general, I think that the vibes have been really high.
No doubt.
And Kellen Moore put a big emphasis on team activities during the offseason, making sure that culture was building the chemistry within the position groups, but then outside as well. He's brought the entire team together. They went and played paintball. They went to 504 golf, did that. And today, they're going bowling. So he's continuing to put an emphasis on that, and it seems like it's working.
So far, so good. We're a week in, and we're heading to California a week from tomorrow, which is Wednesday, correct? That's what day it is.
That is.
So
It's Tuesday
I think
today,
when we get to, after another few days in the heat, we've got 2 padded practices coming up. Tomorrow and Thursday, day off Friday, then more practicing going on. I got to check the schedule. I don't think they're padded, though.
Yeah, but what's interesting is Kellen did mention the next 2 days are padded practices, and he's like, got to go out and do it, and then
pads
and then
in the
follow
weekend
it up.
too. Pads in the weekend too. So they're going hard, and then one more padded practice before we go to California next Wednesday. I think when we get to California, it might ease off just a little bit. It's going to ease off weather-wise, no
leading
doubt.
up to that first game.
But then you have to prepare for actual games. So no, they're going to go at it pretty hard with those 2 days off in between the travel days. So it'll be fun to watch in the next week.
Yeah, got a lot of exciting stuff coming up over this next week before they head to California, back practicing at Irvine, and then leading up to that first game against the Chargers. I'm just going to close it out what Tolley said about the vibes right now on the team. And Graff and I will be back with you tomorrow as we kick off another padded practice on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know Juwan hit this, and I do really have a feeling that we have a better team chemistry this year, and the locker room is closer than ever. You know what I mean? So I think everybody's kind of, buying in. You know what I'm saying? So I think we all kind of have a good feel, and everybody's kind of locking in with each other, whether it's D-line, O-line, or whatever.
Thanks for listening to the New Orleans Saints podcast presented by Rouse's Markets. Join us 3 times per week on NewOrleansSaints.com, the Saints mobile app, or you can download the podcast on iTunes. We'll see you next time, right here on the New Orleans Saints podcast, presented by Rouse's Markets.